All right, welcome to episode 119 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Y'all, tonight it's me for a little bit here. We got the first half of the show going to be with me. We're going to then have two interviews tonight. We're going to have Bryant Goldstone and Robbins on to talk about the crazy weekend they had at Havlik's fastest streetcar shootout in Cordova. Crazy event, brought out the new Corvette. Won it all. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be great stories from them. And then we're going to have the couple on that runs Nightmare Garage, which was, I'm not going to say they were my favorite, but they were in the top 3 or 4 at Heads Up Hustle 2025. So we're going to talk to them about the Camaro they built, why they built it, and then what their 1,000-mile trip was like whenever they went to and from Heads Up Hustle in that car. They drove it to back and forth like 1,000-mile day. It was awesome. All right, let's kick this thing off. All right, guys. Well, welcome to episode 119 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. I'm Mike Narks. I'm hosting the show tonight alone. My right-hand man, my dude I spent all weekend with, Mr. Eric White, is in Colorado on a work trip, man, and has sent some amazing views back. I'll tell you, the Colorados are just, man, it's awesome. He's in Denver, so he's right up against the Rockies. They flew out Sunday, ended up or Monday, sorry, took a long drive Monday afternoon going to see the Rockies and stuff. I'm jealous of him. That's one of my favorite places in the entire country, especially being right there by Bandemere. You know, obviously I don't know if they snuck over there or not. I really don't know. Anyways, let's get to this thing tonight. Again, episode 119 of the Drag Driver Pete Show. Y'all, I can't say this enough, but this weekend was crazy. It was awesome to have all of our race car friends around and to just see a ton of people that we wouldn't have been seeing, really, to be honest with you, if we weren't at the Havlik still. It was pretty crazy. Lots of good friends, lots of good times were had there, and actually got to the hotel at a reasonable time every night. Seemed pretty strange. Had no super late nights. I guess I was up pretty late Friday night, but that was on my behalf. I was working on videos and all that kind of stuff. So again, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for being around. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the crazy outpouring of love we had this last weekend. Had one of the biggest weekends on YouTube we've ever had, and it was because of you guys. I mean, tons of shares, tons of comments on the photos and stuff like that. I know we didn't put out a ton, but what we did put out was great. And Eric has been working his butt off trying to get more and more stuff out. So make sure you're following Eric White on Facebook as well, because that's where he's typically going to post all the super cool stuff. And of course, our sponsors. Without them, you know, we really couldn't do this. I mean, it wouldn't be possible for us to do as many events as we do as many shows, all that kind of stuff. So if you're doing some shopping, please hit these folks up. A lot of them have discount codes for us and all that kind of stuff. So Summit Racing, obviously title sponsor here of the show and the news and the circuit, which we have some updates on here in just a minute. Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, who's going to be on next week. And I get to talk about that here in a little bit. And our newest sponsor, AFCO Racing. Can't believe that they came on board. Gives us a great opportunity to understand more about suspension and stuff. Performer Built Transmissions, which I'm going to get to see in like a month at Hot Rod Drag Week. I can't wait. Car Change 3D, who I got to see when I went up to Heads Up Hustle. Power Tube TV, which has some exclusive stuff that's coming to them tomorrow for the fastest streetcar shootout that I feel like they're going to love, and all of their fans over there. So if you're not watching there, please do that. WAF Racing, we love Chris Wozniak and the team over there. Sweet Patina, best hand cleaning wipes in the market, hands down. TKO hand cleaning wipes, Sweet Patina, awesome. And then Racing Junk Classifieds, who built an entire segment of just drag and drive cars. Hope you understand that. That's a pretty big deal for them to add that at our request. And I mean, listen, let's be honest. Drag and drive's on up and up, keeps growing, all that kind of fun stuff. All right. Summit Racing is being our title sponsor. Their speed legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop. With 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions, they feel your passion, save you money, deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure you download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And you can find them on the On All Cylinders podcast for more discussions like this, but also for tons of really, really cool in-depth tech articles as well. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. You can also shop like a normal person at summitracing.com or through the app. Well, let's jump in here and see what kind of comments we got popping off this evening here. So I'm going to be running double duty, so be patient with me. My plan will be to finish a segment and then come back and look at the comments. Oh, Miss Melissa Morrow of Morrow Photography says, perfect timing. Just got in the car to take a drive. Well, sorry, you're going to have to listen to me all night. No parking lot beers. We actually had a few, but it was not a late night, man. We were up in the room by like 11:30 or something like that. It was pretty easy. So gotta get some parking lot beers while I'm at Streetcar Takeover this weekend. And then also in the coming weeks, going to be all over the country. So we'll talk about that on another episode here. My brother, Stephen Nark, saying, what's up? What's up? What's up? Haven't talked to him much the last couple of days, so I know he is super busy. He's trying to finish up a couple projects for some folks. Wyatt Needle in here saying, and thank you and Eric for sick ass photos of the car. Those dudes put on a show all weekend, man. If you didn't know, Doug won the Gear Vendors Overdrive, bought $200 worth of tickets. Won the Gear Vendors, couldn't have gone to a nicer dude. And Wyatt, obviously his son and co-pilot. Richard Brewer, our boy in here saying race car friends, and hey, as we got to spend all weekend with him too. It was really a ton of fun hanging out with him at the fastest streetcar shootout. Tom Wilhelm in here, got to hang out with him. He parked the car over by the driven booth, which we were set up right next to. Car's gorgeous. Pontiac GTO, amazing. Trevor Brandon in here saying race car friends, and Linda McDonald, one of my neighbors right down the street. Love the show. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. And tell John I said hi. And I did see him cruising the sedan delivery the other day. I almost ran out and waved him down, but I probably should have. So super cool car. Glad he is getting that thing out and about. All right, well, let's jump into this, guys. Got some drag drive repeat updates. We crossed 10,000 followers on Facebook. Can we get a round of applause? Yay. It's so exciting. That's the one that's been the hardest. I'll tell you, we post more on Facebook and share more information, share other people's stuff over there all the time, and have just crossed it. So it's like 10,300. So big shout out to everybody that is new here, going to be coming on, watching all the show and stuff. Because if you're new to the program, Facebook just feeds you all that kind of stuff. So we appreciate you guys being here. And then, like I said earlier, picked up AFCO as a new sponsor. I'm so glad that they are on board, really, because Eric Saffel is a genius when it comes to racing stuff, drag racing especially. But he's also at a ton of events. So it gives, I don't know, basically what I like to do with our sponsors is introduce them to you guys and then let you guys know them people very well. We do that through interviews here on the show. We do that through conversations on site. And then it just really provides an opportunity for us all to learn more, right? Because I have raced, but I'm not a great racer. I've not built anything super fast. So having these kind of guys involved with the Drag Drive Repeat program is really one of the biggest benefits we can have. So those are two huge updates for Drag Drive Repeat. And again, thank you so much to AFCO for coming on board. And thank you and welcome to all the new people that pushed us over 10,000. That means we now have 10,000 followers on all 4 platforms that we post on all the time. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So it's pretty crazy. We're just steadily growing. We're in that let grind, we just get down and get it done. So Lawrence Arnold in here saying, appreciate all that you guys do. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We got a lot more in store, I promise. And then Rich Woodward, man, one of my favorite folks in here saying, good evening, Stony, saying race car friends for sure. And then, hey, Ryan B right here says, finally got the Yellow Ranger back together. Oh, yeah. And I am titillated at the notion of getting back to racing. Haven't made a pass since Drag Week 22. Bro, what's wrong with you, man? This is exciting. I can't remember Ryan's YouTube channel right now off the top of my head, but it is one of the channels that made me take the leap into doing my own LS swap and own wiring and all that kind of stuff in my old truck, which I've put 7,000 miles on that thing since I've done that. So big shout out to Ryan. And I'm sure he'll drop his YouTube channel here in just a second in the chat. Oh, Brian Havlik right here. You guys are killing it. No, sir. You are killing it, bro. It was awesome. What an event. I can't say enough about how much fun the fastest streetcar shootout tribute/reunion race was. Ryan also just wanted to watch you say titillated. That's funny. All right, back to work here. Okay, let's get to it, guys. The circuit updates. I don't know if y'all are ready for this, but we've been working hard behind the scenes on this, and I'm telling you, we're very, very close to announcing our dates. Very close to announcing the tracks. I have it's like right here. So just in those final little bit of negotiation and making sure all the stuff goes like it should and all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So we should be able to announce that very, very soon, hopefully in the next day or so. I know I've said that 3 or 4 times, but that's how close we've been for like 2 weeks. The other thing is, are you ready for this? Baker Engineering. Are you hearing me? Baker Engineering has put up $1,000 bounty for the quickest quarter mile car and the quickest eighth mile car to take Jim Parkinson out or take Jim Parkinson off the shirt for 2026, or I guess it'd be 2027, whatever. And Brian Acton, who's been on there 3 times. Jim's been on 2 shirts. They said it's time. It's time for somebody new. We need some new people on the shirts. So it's going to be pretty interesting. This will be the Circuit 2026 shirt will be Brian Acton's 3rd time on it. So we're going to have to get creative. We are definitely hoping to, I don't know how to word this, take a different direction with the circuit. So different route stops and things like that is all I'm going to say. So we will get creative there, but Brian's car and Jim Parkinson's car will both be on the shirt for 2026, just like they were for 2025. And Brian's car, obviously, on the shirt for 2024. So 3 years for Brian Acton to be on the shirt. Baker Engineering said, hey, bro, it's time to go, or it's time to take home $1,000. So going to be there already. Aaron Walker said, let's do that again. Warren Hurt said, great to meet you at Heads Up Hustle. Love what you're doing, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being so open and being, cool with us, hanging out and following you all week. It was really fun. That car, 600 cubic inches and twin turbos, crazy. Yeah. Melissa Morrow already talking about Circuit 2026. She freaking out. I'm freaking out. It's crazy. And Johnson Sonecipher says, I want to go to the circuit. And the last bit of just, I'm going to say, I just want to drop this in your brain. We're working on some other things for 2026 as well that are not just the circuit. That's all I'm going to say, but it's going to be a ton of fun, and hopefully we'll bring in a lot more people into the Drag and Drive community. So I can't wait. All right. So we got our notes. We've talked to people. Let's talk about driven racing oil updates. I see Bryant Goldstone is backstage. So right after this, we're going to bring him and Brian Robbins on. I'm so excited. Wyatt here said, man, we tried to put on a show, especially for you guys and the Havlik boys. Yes, we appreciate that. You certainly did that for sure, especially on the drive that day. Huge burnout that night. It was awesome. All right. So driven racing oil event updates. Let's get into these because there's some fun stuff coming up. Driven racing oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing limits in top fuel drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. Where am I? Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and then enhanced with state of the art additive packages, GP1 offers best in protection and performance. And you guys know you can find Driven Racing Oil at drivenracingoil.com or just search for Driven Racing Oil on your favorite social media app as well. But you can also find them at a ton of events. They just got back from a ton of events over the last few weeks here. Actually, last week they were at Michigan Miles. They were at Fastest Streetcar Shootout and at a huge Corvette show, plus 2 other events out in the West. Pretty wild. So make sure you're using code DDR10 to get a 10% discount on your entire order when you order from Driven Racing Oil. I know it's not really an event, but this is really the only spot I could put this in, and it makes sense because we have guests on the rest of the night. Mike Finnegan was on Oil and Whiskey podcast. I don't know if you guys listen to this. You got to. It's a great podcast. It's full of like car builders and all that kind of stuff. Oil and Whiskey podcast is run by the guys that own Roadster Shop Chassis. These dudes should be podcasting. I know they're great at building chassis, but these dudes are awesome podcasters as well. Mike Finnegan does a killer job. This was an early spot I grabbed a screenshot from. I've basically listened to the whole thing. I'm going to write a recap article. There's a ton of great information in there and just great content and stories from Mike. So really highly recommend that event or that podcast to everybody. They're generally an hour or two, and that's really what I bombed home with from Fastest Streetcar Shootout was Oil and Whiskey podcast. I listened to like 3 or 4 of them. But y'all, this weekend is crazy. Lots of stuff going on from here through September. So this weekend we have Cruise and Lose 2025. We have Dragway Rush, which is new for 2025. Cruise and Lose, this is their 3rd year. And then we have I-57 Drag and Drive, which is it right there in the middle. You guys can see that on the photo that you're looking at here. First year for that one too. I'm excited about these. Again, I say it all the time. Regional events are the gateway drug into Drag and Drive. And these promoters are promoting the event as much as they possibly can. Zach and the team for Cruise and Lose are doing a great job, and they've hosted events in the past, and it's going to be awesome to see that thing go down. I can't wait. And it's definitely on my list for 2026 for sure. Dragway Rush looks like it's going to be a great time. And in a part of the country of Canada that hasn't had an event before. So that's exciting. Again, regional events bring new people in. That's what they're meant to do, in my opinion. I-57 Drag and Drive, again, another new one that hasn't really had much action, another part of the country that hasn't had much action this year. So it's going to be awesome to see if they can bring some new folks and new life into the Drag and Drive community as well. And then the next weekend, actually 2 weeks after this, we have a weekend off. The last weekend of August will be no events. That'll seem really weird that there's not an event. But then we double up with Drop the Hammer and Rocky Mountain Race Weekend. I've said this before several times. It's exciting to see a national level event promoter like Matt Frost come into the regional Drag and Drive experience. One, because I think those guys know how to handle all kinds of crazy stuff, which is a huge win for folks that are new coming in. So you have experience, you have all of that brings that into the event. So I saw Trevor Brandon making comments earlier. Just thought it was funny. I grabbed his car by just random chance to put in here. So to promote for the Rocky Mountain Race Weekend, which is September 5th through 7th, same time on the other coast or on the East Coast, we're going to have the North Carolina edition of Drop the Hammer. Carl Stansel and Casey Banner putting this event on. This is a big deal. So Casey came to Drop the Hammer in Michigan and was like, man, let's get together. Let's work on something. Let's go out here and do this one in North Carolina. And so they're doing it. It's going to be awesome. Trevor Brandon here saying he can't wait. And then Melissa Morrow said, I keep saying you should do 2 a year. Oh, 2. That'd be awesome. So yeah, this event here is going to be great. David White, Eric Stadden here saying, hey man, what's up? Great to see you. Great to talk to you again. Got to say hi to him on the phone the other day while we were headed to the hotel. And then Outlaw Armageddon 10, the 10th anniversary, is also hosting a Drag and Drive. So it's their first time to do that within Outlaw Armageddon. No prep, drag and drive, 3 days. And Felicia and Aaron Smith are running this thing. It's going to be freaking cool, man. I'm telling you, this, I don't know of a bigger light that we could shine on a drag and drive community than Outlaw Armageddon, especially the 10th anniversary, especially the first time at Tulsa Raceway Park. Been working my butt off trying to promote that as much as I can. And it's only going to get turned up even more over the next 2 weeks. So Outlaw Armageddon, you guys know, is an absolutely insane event. It's going to be even insaner this time with Felicia Smith and Aaron running the drag and drive portion of that. Again, another weekend event, September 11th through 13th. And then up next, Hot Rod Drag Week. This is the next big event, next week-long event for us. Obviously, Eric sadly has to miss Drag Week because he did so much in June. But Tim Gorley of Go Fast Photography is coming with me, and we're driving out to Maryland to do this event from right here, Northwest Arkansas. Tim lives about an hour north of me, but it gets even crazier. So that same weekend is Outlaw Armageddon before Drag Week. So I'm actually going to pick up the rental car Thursday night, drive up and pick up Tim first thing Friday morning. We're driving to Tulsa to do Outlaw Armageddon all day in Tulsa on Friday. And then Saturday morning, we're going to get up and just haul butt all the way to Maryland, trying to get there. It's a 20-hour drive from Tulsa to Maryland, or it was a 19.5-hour drive from Northwest Arkansas to Maryland. So I thought, what the heck, man, let's get on it and get that done. So I'm really excited about this, about his first experience being able to do that. Being able to go to Drag Week and do all that. Eric White in here saying, "Miss you, brother, but this steak is too good, dude." I don't blame you, man. Take some time off, man. He needs it. He's worked pretty hard the last few months for sure. And then Redwood Rally is the weekend, or is the week after that. So Drag Week ends on the 19th. On the 22nd, all the way across the country, like completely across the country, Redwood Rally starts at Medford, Oregon. So your boy, Jesse Fox, is going to drive from Drag Week all the way to Redwood Rally in 3 days in Benny the Volvo. So let's support Jesse Fox, 3G Video. Please go over and follow him for that experience. That's going to be absolutely crazy. 3 days, just absolute bombing. I think it's like 2,600 miles or 2,480 miles or something like that. I'm sure Jesse will chime in here in a little bit, but yeah, pretty crazy to make that trip all the way across the country. I can't wait to hear the stories and everything that comes from that as well. So that gives us 50 events, 50 drag and drive events across the world in 2025. One of the craziest years, obviously the craziest, the most events hosted ever in the history of drag and drive, and not just people putting names on it. I mean, this is like real deal drag and drives, not like what a true street would be, but man, it's just wild to think that 50 events. When I say this all the time, but when I started in 2022, there were 11. That's literally 3 years ago. And we're now at 50 events. So everybody says it's saturation. Everybody says there's too many events, but there are probably too many events whenever we're all in the same promotion pool. We're all trying to get the same folks. So that's why these events are great, because you got to go get new folks. You got to go find these new people and bring them in. All right. Brian Robbins, I see him backstage. Are you about ready, sir? Give me a thumbs up if you are, maybe. Yep, perfect. All right, he's giving me a thumbs up. And then Bryant, I see he just jumped in real quick. Okay. All right, let me get in and read this, do this ad read real quick, and then we'll jump in. J-Wire Solutions is your expert car and marine wiring solutions. Wiring solution you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, race car, drag and drive car, boat, sand drag, whatever if it has a motor and brush hog, he's doing everything. Snow blowers, all kinds of stuff. And they offer products to make your driving experience better, like the blinker module that is a must for all drag and drive cars. This module allows your rear turn signals to work like a stock car does whenever you hit the brakes. This is actually not the photo of that. This is the relay panel that he sells as well. Anyways, rear turn signals to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like your stock car. And I want to do one thing before I bring those two dudes in. Thunder Valley, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. It is opening back up. August 30th is their first event back. It is a no prep backside event. You guys talked a bunch of shit. Go out, help. Mark Sorensen is the manager right now, and he is looking for volunteers to come out and mow and weed eat. So if they have not, that track's been closed for a month now. So if they haven't mowed or weed eated in that amount of time, it's going to need it. And if they're hosting the race next weekend, guys, they need the help to make this track look as good as possible. So he's opening Thunder Valley up at 8 a.m. for a mowing and weed whacking party is what he calls here. Says, I'll have breakfast for you. So for all the folks that want tracks to survive, this is a great way for them to survive is by volunteering on your way out there. All right, let me get this set up, and we'll bring these two dudes in. All right, Goldstone and Bryant, Robbins, how are you guys?
Doing good, man. How are you, Mike?
I'm pumped, man. This is going to be awesome.
Doing good here.
Yeah, perfect. So here we go. Everybody knows who you guys are, and if they don't, they've lived under a rock for like 2 years. Because I feel like if we went back and looked at percentage of cars we talked about, it's probably been you two dudes. The stuff you've driven, all the fun you've had, the events you've won, the world champion stuff, all the craziness that goes on. So in this newest event, we're going to kind of talk about fastest streetcar shootout tonight because we've talked about, I think, everything else. So if everybody wants to know these guys, go back and watch other episodes. But let's take a second. I want you to introduce yourselves and just tell everybody who you are and what you do just to get it started.
Bryant Goldstone, got the Javelin, Corvette to come, hopefully soon. But
and Chevelle over your shoulder and Corvette
there broke down. My 666 Corvette sitting there waiting to do something. Just no time.
Because you're out racing the Javelin.
Yeah, beating that thing up too much. So yeah, gotta give it a rest, I think. But although I pulled the engine out of it last night, and that went to Norm today to get freshened for the backup plan for drag week, and the car leaves tomorrow to go to Joe's. So
Oh my goodness,
get some more chassis stuff done.
that's awesome, Brian.
Brian Robbins, been involved with drag racing forever, and build some engine stuff and do a bunch of tuning, and got involved with Bryant quite a few years ago, and we've been running Javelin around the country ever since.
Yeah, been a force to be
Been
reckoned
up
with.
at my house ever since. I'm just kidding.
It's funny. I was actually cleaning the spot off to put my computer till I got the table set back up, and I still have this magazine out here in the shop that's got Brian's car up there in the corner.
1960. Nice.
That was from a few years ago.
yeah. I don't want to say when, but it was definitely a few years ago. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, y'all had an incredible weekend.
That one right there,
yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Brian, put that off over there.
You had an incredible weekend. Brian Havlik in here saying there's some bad dudes right there, and you are. I mean, the fastest streetcar shootout was freaking awesome, man. It was cool to see you guys. I want to talk first about having both cars on site, because when you unloaded both cars, I was like, oh crap, here we go. So what was that like having two there to mess with?
The plan there was, as Brian alluded to, most people don't know, we're about almost an hour apart from each other, so it makes it difficult just to run down there and try to sort some of it out. And I knew there'd be time this weekend, so talked him into bringing it so we could spend some time fixing a couple of issues we had in order to get the thing ready to start driving and racing and try to have it ready for drag week. So that was the plan.
Was it weird being in one spot all weekend?
Yeah, that was so nice, except for the one spot we were in was so damn hot. That was like that equaled last year's Rocky Mountain miserableness.
Oh,
it was like we were in the car the whole time while we were at the racetrack. Racetrack emulated the riding in there for 10 hours.
Right. It was pretty brutal.
If that wasn't hot enough, we had to go for a 50 or 60 mile drive in the thing. So that just helped put it over the top.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And by that point it had been heat soaked. I mean, like, because it was hot it was hot in the morning, it was hot in the afternoon, and then we did that at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Did y'all get stuck in the traffic?
Just a little. I mean, we slowed down through it and got through it, and then I think it got worse after we got through it.
Yeah, thank God. We didn't have any troubles. I mean, we were in Eric's truck. It was easy, but it looked like a lot of folks had some problems there. Well, I want to ask you about one thing real quick. This shot that our boy Dirty Panda, Richard Brewer, got, but what did you guys think of this freaking opening? I mean, listen, I loved it. I think it was awesome, and big kudos to Brian and Jess for doing this. 165 gallons of fuel explosion.
It was pretty impressive, pretty cool to see, and I was just hoping they were going to do a second one. I thought that was the first one was going to be the warm up, and then we were going to get the big one for the second one.
There was no boom. Just
I really thought there would be a boom. Put a top on those cans and let's see it then.
you need more of an. It was cool fire, and just needed more explosion, sound. So
yeah, I agree. And the way I had the camera positioned was like kind of down and out, so it didn't have the effect I wanted to on the camera, but turned out
at least you could see all the cars in that shot, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I still can't see mine though. I'm too far back. It's gonna move me further up.
Yeah, we'll just do some Photoshop editing and just put you about fifth or sixth there.
Yeah.
Fastest. Brian says that will be added next year.
The boom or my car in the front?
Yes, all of that. Yeah, that's cool. Well, let's talk about the street drive, man. It's pretty easy, 60, 70 miles, something like that. And it was really cool, man. The drive along the river was nice. There was a lot of great shots. Eric and I kind of posted up in one spot and got some really cool shots in the background. Some Mississippi River drive by.
Yeah, we kind of made the drive not as easy as it could have been, but I had an alternator wire loosen and it was wiggling there, and it ended up burning up the fuse block. And I figured the alternator quit, so we called for tools, because usually when we go anywhere, we've got a trailer full of everything we need. And this time we had nothing. We didn't have not a single tool one in here. I think we had a Zeus tool, and that was it.
Set of Allen wrenches.
Did you? Yeah, Bryant took them because we were adjusting the idle right before we left it. Luckily, we brought him because he adjusted it up before I left, and God, it was so high we had to stop and let it down some, because we went way past where it needed to be once it warmed up.
That's awesome. How weird did that feel to not be swapping tires 2 or 3 times a day and then not pulling a trailer?
Yeah. I'll take this one, Brian, because I'm the one who does all that work, while Brian's playing around on the computer. So
yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really nice not changing tires. We changed them from the slicks. I drove it on the Mickey Thompson slicks because they don't work as good on my car as the Hoosiers. So I had them on for the weekend before I did a dyno shootout, and I didn't want to ruin my good Hoosiers. So I just left them on there for the drive, and then just switched them back over when we got back. But that was pretty much all we had to do. And I still got the fuse. I just ended up taking the one wire. It was kind of like putting tinfoil, and I just moved the one to the other side and said, let's see what happens. So luckily, Tom Wilhelm had loaned us a jumper box, and we had just enough juice in it to fire up the fuel pump and start the car up so we could make it back. It was pretty brutal sitting on the side of the road when it was that high.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine. Because at least at the track you can get in the shade. There's a spot you can get.
Yeah, Brian found some shade across the street, and I laid under my car, and that's when I looked up and said, "Hey, my fuse is burnt. That's the whole problem." So finding shade helped us out a little bit. It saved us a little bit of time.
That's awesome. Well, talk to us about the runs. How did the car do all weekend? Obviously it was out front, undefeated. Nobody even, you had one close race, but how did the car run all weekend?
You want to take it, Brian?
I mean, for the most part, it's pretty good. I mean, we had a weight reduction on the first run that I had to fix, and from there it was just a matter of dealing with the heat and racing the track. So just try to manage that every run, and really
I
tried
don't
to
remember
work
that.
on some
Oh,
early numbers that we didn't deal with.
I was trying to remember what close race, but that was the race that I let off at half track and blipped it one more time. And yeah, that was close. What, 7525 to 7524.
Yeah.
And I had him by, I
Yeah.
think, 40 on the light or something, but that was close. I didn't know if I won or not. I was pissed, man. I was like, I better not have lost this damn thing over the, I mean, but I couldn't, every time I hit the throttle, it went sideways. So, and I was too close to the center. So that was amazing that we pulled that one off for sure.
Yeah. I think it was
Anything
like
else?
7,000s or something crazy.
Yeah. All the other runs were pretty easy. It was just a couple runs against Steve and, some of the other slower guys that were there. No, I'm just kidding, man. I invited Steve on, so hopefully he's watching. Do you see him on there? Yeah.
Hang on. Wait. Yep. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
He's too big to watch your YouTube channel,
I'm sure. He seems like he knows who we are. That's at least a win in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun weekend though, dude. I'm telling you, lots of great races. You lined up against Jason Hurley twice, I think. Is that right?
That was probably my best runs. And ones I thought I was going to lose, had a chance of losing more,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hurley's car did well. I can't imagine trying to figure out the track as hot as it was. Like, was it even sticky? I mean, we walked on it, but that doesn't mean anything in the shoes,
It was. I mean, we've got enough runs in the car. You just kind of know when and how to compensate for it. And that was the keys, just to make sure it left good and made a decent run early, because I mean, especially like racing Jason and even racing Steve, is all it would take is one little hiccup and one little pedal job and you got drove around. So,
not by Steve though, but maybe Jason. No, actually I was so nervous when I raced Steve because I talked so much shit all day. And then that's when, that's usually when karma strikes, and I probably got a whole bunch of it coming someday, but
it hadn't found you yet.
It hasn't found me yet. So
that's awesome. Well, let's talk about that. Nobody took the bounty. Shot race put up. Well, I mean, let's be honest. You gave the bounty up. It was crazy. I had that video pulled up, but it won't play here on StreamYard. So walk us through that, man. Tell us what happened.
Well, that was mostly my fault. Larry Larson welded that stuff in for me at Rocky Mountain, and I had it up in the air, and I saw the car had a bounce to it all that race and all 6 summer, and we weren't really able to get after it at the line. So I cut a couple of the bars out he put in. Didn't think we needed them, and then actually I remembered later that Rob was under the car with me one night, and he says, I should probably weld a couple gussets there. And then I forgot all about it, and apparently he did too. And yeah, so when I threw the chutes, I kind of had it in the back of my mind, boy, I hope this is good enough. And I thought it would be, but it just kind of ripped the chromoly right apart off the square tubing of the chromoly and peeled it and threw it up in the air. And at the same time, I guess my side window opened up a little bit and it sucked the rear window out that I just spent $500 putting in, so, but it didn't even scratch it. That was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that thing went about 50 feet in the air.
Yeah. It must've just nice and softly landed on the other dude's car or something. I don't know. Unlike my parachutes where they smashed his windshield and then supposedly went through his chutes. So
yeah, you can see it on the video. I think you can see it like just rocket right through the.
I don't know how it would have went through both chutes. That's what I don't know, but because it was just one piece of metal, but I don't know.
Right. Yeah, you can see one, but yeah, I didn't know it did both. Yeah, that's wild.
I'm kind of surprised he was going fast enough for the chutes to have blossomed to go through it, but I guess they did and put a hole right through them. So yeah. I just ordered those for him today. They're on the way to him.
Nice.
Well, I guess awesome. after they custom make them for him, then they'll be on their way.
Oh. Yeah. You're getting some special ones made up.
Yeah. Pink and yellow, I guess, is what they were saying. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Here's a red one. I didn't change it on him.
Nice. Yeah.
That should be my colors. No,
that was Sean Skipper's Corvette. So it was cool to see him out. I had seen him at, I think, Sick Week this year. Had not seen that car before. So it's pretty cool him being out and about and doing all that fun stuff. Clark Rosen sang it was good to hang out with him. Obviously, Kyle Morris out there in his his car just kicking ass. Small block Ford powered, going 790s. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, he was rolling, and I had a lot of friends there too, that came from here. I had Tony Karamitsos was there, and he ran. I think he got in the sevens at least once or twice. And Sam, he had a lot of trans brake like bump issues, so that kind of screwed him up a lot. But his car would have been nice to see go fast. But I see where all these guys want to go fast on these radials. It's not as easy to do on these tracks in this heat, like So yeah. More power, to Kyle for getting down. Him and Tony were about the only ones that I think went fast on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I want people to understand. What was the track temp? 118 at one point or something like that.
I don't know.
132 was the worst I saw.
Oh my God, dude! No wonder I was wore out. I think I literally took 350 videos on Saturday, and 300 of them were of track stuff. I mean, it was brutal. It was all day.
Yeah, it was definitely, the humidity was crazy. I don't know how many shirts I went through, probably at least 2 a day. I know that.
Yeah, that's where I made the mistake. I left all my clothes at the hotel, so I had 1 shirt a day. And by the end of it, man, that thing was like white and just full of salt. It was pretty gross. Pretty gross. Well, let's talk about the Corvette a little bit, because you had it there. Obviously, you guys were working on stuff. I think that was very smart. It gave you extra hours that you wouldn't have had if you were just there in the Javelin. So, obviously pat on your back for that. But what did you guys work on this weekend on it?
Chased some communication issues between the race pack and Holly. Spent a bunch of time on that on Thursday, and actually had an oiling issue that we worked through, a couple of them, and got that straightened out. And I mean, good enough to the point where after the finals there, we actually Bryant got to take the thing for a drive. So
was that the first time it's been down the track?
It was the first time it moved under power.
Wow, that's badass. That's badass. I'm working on a video, and that's obviously the ending view there. Eric got some shots from the end track, the end of the track, and then I got some shots of you guys taking off and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool, man, to have both those cars there on the starting line and all that.
Yeah, it was nice to have time to work on it for sure. And of course, we can't drive it very far because we don't have all the gauges working with the communications problem. So that's the next thing. Get that figured out and get some street miles on it and see how it does, and get it in the race trim here soon, hopefully.
Yeah. How hard was it to not just make sure you're out in front of Brian?
Believe me, man, I was trying to slow down so he'd keep up with me. I don't know what he was doing over there.
I was trying to keep from turning it into a race, because I was pretty sure it was going to turn into a race before it was done.
Yeah, not with you guys, not at all. I can't imagine that at all.
Pretty sure I wouldn't have liked the outcome of that race. So,
did having the 2 cars there, did that create any extra struggle? Was it harder, or did it just like normal
when the bad weather came?
Oh shit!
Yeah, the rush to put 2 away was a little rough.
Yeah,
2 tents, 2 cars, and a bunch of electronic stuff. Yeah. But other than that, it was just nice to have it there to work on it. It's too hard to get everybody if I have them all held captive at a racetrack where they have no way out. They're stuck working on it. So we got a little bit accomplished. So it was nice.
Yeah.
Well,
a bunch of progress.
Yeah, and it's cool to take that few minutes there and be able to spend those hours on it and not have 19 other things to do other than get the Javelin ready to race 9 rounds or whatever. However many rounds you guys went. It was a bunch.
I don't remember how many runs we did make. I was trying to figure that today, and I only think I made about 4 under all the way power to the end, though. 4 or 5 at the most. Seemed like I was off at the end because I was either single, because there was a couple buys and a couple broken buys, and yeah, it was a good race, man. I like the event, and I like going to the Havlik stuff.
Bunch of really neat cars there.
Yeah, there was.
Well, and that was my next topic. There's like, what are some of y'all's cars that you saw there? I mean, Brian, you've been doing this a long time, like, and Bryant too. But like, did y'all do any of the early NMCA fastest street car stuff?
Oh yeah, we raced a bunch of that back in the day. So I mean, it was cool to see Annette's cars and the cars and Monty's car and all the rest of them that came out
Yeah,
of the woodwork that you haven't seen in years.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching the cars at Martin all the time at Super Chevy. They were like a yearly thing. They were there, and those were kind of before my car was fast at the time. I kind of looked up to those and always wanted that. And then I ended up going to another. I was racing the Javelin back when it was white with purple stripes on it, and I raced it at Norwalk, and they had Jeff. Jeff. I can't remember his last name now. Drawing a blank. And a last name, a guy named Banks, and they were racing, and I think it was the first year I saw the American Muscle Car Series was out. And that's when I started doing that the next year with the Javelin, and slowly progressed and went a little faster. It's never fast as Brian and them were with the blown Chevy too, but I think the fastest was in the 780s or so with the Javelin, and then I ended up getting the Monte Carlo the next year, and it went 690s, and it was always a few tenths off the fastest cars.
That's badass.
Brian was always right there, though. Their car was one of the fastest. It's either their car or one of the ones they built. So that Kimmin car was always fast too.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Like, obviously, I grew up north of Memphis, so that kind of stuff early then was good. But I mean, I was young, 11, 12, 13 years old. So like, I saw it, but it was really just in magazines and all that kind of stuff. We never made the trip down during the event or anything like that. We should have, though. I see my mom's in here making comments. Should have talked her into taking me down there. That would have probably changed the trajectory a little bit.
Got you where you are sooner, probably.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just completely ruined me. Well, I'll tell you, there was a lot of really cool cars there. Tom McGilton's car, it's always great to see that car out and about. And then, a lot of the Pro Street stuff, man, there was some really, really nice cars in the Pro Street deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wish those guys had been over. I saw those guys make a couple passes during the test and tune stuff. Well, let's talk about what's next. What's coming up? What do you guys got in mind?
Hopefully some testing and then drag week. Obviously testing will be with the one car because the other one's about as tested out as it can be for this year. But yeah, I ran out of runs on it, so it had to get freshened. So I got that back to Norm this afternoon, and so I either have that one or the Brodix one, block one done. That'll be all new short block with just the old 24-degree heads on it if we get it out. He's leaning more towards putting this one back in the car. So either way, it doesn't matter to me. They'll both be great. They're both about the same.
How many passes do you have on that motor since it's last freshened?
I don't remember counting, but I did Joliet 2 drag weeks. Well, I did not 2 drag weeks. I did Joliet, Rocky Mountain, which was a lot of street miles, and then Six Summer.
And a lot of passes.
A lot of passes too. Yeah, we made 4 a day at least.
4 a day. Yep.
It probably had about 50 runs on it, but I usually pull it out every 2 full events, and maybe a little side event in the middle of it, that's not a week-long thing.
Wow.
Just never know when that last run is on those rods, and they can do so much damage when they break. So
right,
get out of there.
Yeah, preventative.
Not that matters because I had 8 runs on the last set of rods at sick week, and they broke. So but less chance they break, I guess, when they're newer. But it'd be nice to know if they were had some kind of like a little popper thing that popped up like a turkey's done. Said, you better pull it out of the oven. It's gonna get cooked.
It's time. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, yeah, and you guys are so hard on stuff like just the street miles of Rocky Mountain. I mean, 1,400 just street miles. Like, how do you even quantify how hard that is on stuff?
Yeah, you don't. They always used to say every time you warm it up, it's a heat cycle, and I was like, I thought that was full of shit back then, but we kind of disproved that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, at the level you guys are at, there's not like, I mean, this stuff isn't built for reliability and long term life. I mean, it's built to race and go fast.
Yeah, it's in the middle a little bit, a little less probably compression and a little less cam than it would be if it was set on, fast all the time and you didn't have to drive it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
you end up winning both. You won the straight up, heads up elimination in outlaw class. That was pretty freaking awesome. Took on that was one of your finals with Jason Hurley, right?
Yep.
And then who else did you run in that? Did you run Nick in that one, or was that in the drag and drive part?
Nick was in the first one, the outlaw one, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was on Saturday night when I was. Yeah, I think that was the last run before we came back to the next day. I believe that last night run on Saturday. Yeah, so had all night to think about it.
What was your thought on that format? Setting up to run eliminations on Sunday morning.
I'll let you disappoint them. Go ahead, Brian.
I don't know. At that point, I just assumed we'd been done with it. Done with it all on Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, we all went there thinking we were driving home Saturday night because we had stuff to do on Sunday, but nobody realized that we were racing on Sunday too.
Yeah.
So
we didn't read the whole thing. We just kind of assumed it was like last year with an extra day,
Yeah, just in case they needed it or something.
Yeah.
Kind of like Rocky Mountain when we decided to run both races and then found out afterwards we had to make 2 passes in each.
Yeah. Well, sleeping's optional on drag and drive, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you didn't need it at that point. Yeah, I thought the format was pretty interesting, but I'll tell you, by about 8:30 on Saturday, I was real close to being done. I was like, man, can we just do all this tomorrow? If we're going to race tomorrow, can we move the semis to tomorrow too, please? Because Saturday was tough.
Yeah, so
the heat made it pretty tough.
Yeah. I don't think you made it any better on Sunday. I mean, I was more spent, I think, at the end of the day Sunday than I was on Saturday.
Yeah.
Loading that stuff back up in the trailer, which we had to do on Saturday also, but it was miserable, man. If it wouldn't have been for them having showers at the track that we could take one before we left, it would have been a long ride home.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't shower before I left, and I drove 9 hours straight. And I'm gonna tell you, it took me all day Monday to get over it. I was like, golly, this was bad.
Yeah, for sure.
So drag week next. I'm pumped. I'm fingers crossed the Corvette's there, but if not, I mean, dang, let's be honest, the Javelin's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure no matter what, the Javelin will for sure be in the trailer. Whether the Corvette is, that's optional, I guess, to see. But the other car is just too untested to know that if we went all the way there and anything at all happened, knowing you could pull the Javelin out and you don't have to test it or nothing, just line it up on Monday and run,
Yep. Well, and you've made the saying a couple times that, like, when that car comes out, it needs to be ready, like 100%. And we've got 24 days before drag week. I mean, that's a pretty tight run.
If we get down the track and run it faster than the Javelin's been, then I'll be comfortable in taking it. But other than that, I don't know. And it should go that fast pretty easy.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. Brian's done a lot of stuff to help with the longevity of this thing, so we're hoping, that the changes we made are better, improvements. So I'm sure they've got to be. I don't see how they could be any worse.
Yeah, just a lot of new things and a lot of new variables that haven't been fully tested yet.
Yeah, we don't even know how if it goes down the road and it needs any other ducting or cooling or anything, Yeah.
Yeah, and the opportunity to build, I mean, it's not a car from scratch, but to know what you've done in as much time as you spent in the Javelin, what are some of the big changes you made to that car compared to stuff you don't necessarily have on the Javelin, or you did differently from what you did on the Javelin?
I think a lot of it's pretty much what I think the Javelin's been kind of like if something gets changed every year to make something more comfortable or better. So I can't think of anything we got in the Corvette that we don't have on that except
I mean, like the Corvette, the back window comes out, so hopefully it helps some airflow through the car to keep us cool. It's got air jacks on it, so we're lugging around the Pro Jacks. You know,
There.
few trade-offs. You know, we got to swap fuel cell from race mode to street mode, and like this one, the fuel cell, the street cell is up front, so you'll have to take the front end off in order to fuel it. Where with the Javelin we didn't. So the trade-offs between both of them.
Yeah.
Um,
We got a
just
little
think there's
airbag for the trailer pulling too. That should help it out, which that's going to Joe's to get that too. I want the airbag on the back of it so it'll support some of the weight. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's it. I mean, but believe it or not, I mean, as small as it is, I think there's actually a little more room inside.
It does feel a little bit more roomy in there. Yeah, I don't have either.
Plus, we got all these fancy cameras all over the thing, so you can see what's going on behind you and on each side. So
yeah, it's going to be a lot better than just guessing, you know.
Hope nobody's there. We're coming. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm really excited about just the wiring side of that stuff, right? It really intrigues me because I was talking to my brother today. I'm like, dude, they got like, it's like a factory GM setup. He hits the blinker and the camera shows him the right side of the car, left side of the car, the back of, that'll really change a lot of it. Plus you're not having to worry, that car is low and wide. So you throw a, 6 or 8 inch mirror out on the side of that thing so you can see it would be pretty wide.
Yeah. I don't want to give him much credit for it because I had to call and tell him how to wire it, but Devin did a pretty good job of wiring it.
Yeah. Yeah. He's an okay dude. He's an okay wiring guy.
Yeah. Seems to do all right,
Yeah.
Little
he's
guy.
Becoming a YouTuber,
Right. As good as you can be. I mean, if you actually watch his channels, you might learn something.
Yeah. When are you going to get a YouTube channel? I mean, when are we going to see people following you around with stuff?
As soon as I become a techie guy that knows what the fuck he's doing. So that might not be anytime soon. So I steer away from any kind of tech I can.
Well, as long as you just keep cruising that thing fast, man, I'm in on whatever you're doing. I promise.
As long as I got somebody to go with me like Brian, then we'll go. Cause between him and Bryant helping me they just changed the whole program, putting somebody smart in the passenger seat that can do the computer stuff, I can just hold on and go fast. That's not a big deal.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Brian, am I going to see you at US 131? You going to be at Martin?
When is that?
September 5th and 6th, the Funny Car Nationals.
Maybe testing.
I didn't even think about that.
We may have to enter it in Fuel Funny Car or something, so we'll see.
Yeah. Bring out, dude, that some bitch in Pro Mod with the Midwest guys and show them what's up.
We might. Well, I don't know if we'll show them what's up that fast, but it'd be nice to. Yeah, it'd be cool. I don't even know if our car fits there. Is it pretty much anything goes kind of thing, or?
No, I mean it's not quite outlaw. They've got some rules around. What size turbos are you?
They're 98s.
Yeah, it's too big. I think
they identify as 94s though. So
yeah, perfect. And hey, listen, it's got a tag on it, motherfucker. It's like it's got a street car. Yeah,
you got to give me a little bit, right?
Right. I mean, golly, yeah, it's a street car. You're gonna drive on the road.
400 pounds more than these titanium cars, so
Right? Yeah, we'll see how far they can drive.
Right.
Then,
they can't drive to the staging lanes, so
right, they can't. All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to hang out with you guys again. Shit, we've seen each other a bunch this year. Rocky Mountain, Sick Week, Rocky Mountain, this race. We'll see each other at Drag Week. It's gonna be cool.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep. All right, guys. See you soon.
Hey, thanks, Mike. See ya.
Thanks for everything you do.
Hey, man. Yeah. Appreciate you guys for being so open and let me put that camera in your face all the time.
Anytime.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Bye.
Man, those guys are awesome. I'm telling you, and nice dudes, and really to put up with me like they do is pretty awesome. So again, I want to say thanks to Jay Wire for being part of the program here. And again, we're going to have Jay Blanchard on next week when we dive into some 850 class racing for the upcoming drag week. We've got Steve and Dustin Trance. We've got Jay Blanchard and Brian Acton of Fast Act Racing going to be on. And we're going to have Mark Campbell, who also works at Deechworks, but is also one of the top 850 guys out there running that stuff. So real quick, I do want to run through the Let me pull this up, see where I have it hidden here. The racers, I want to talk about the recap for the racers of Fastest Streetcar Shootout and who won and all that kind of stuff. So, Molly Motorsports racers and high performance enthusiasts, ready to start your next engine build? If so, there's no better time than now to check out Molly Motorsports all-in-one power pack piston kits. With over 1,200 applications, these kits come complete with pistons, rings, wrist pins, and clips to design, all designed to work together. Molly Motorsports power pack piston kits take out all the guesswork. No more trying to determine if a piston will need this ring to work with a certain cylinder size. Molly Motorsport did all the engineering so you can get to the part that matters, building a power plant that leads to victory lane. Visit mollymotorsport.com for more details. And for everyone listening to this, not watching, Molly is spelled Mahle. All right, let me jump in here and pull up some of these photos real quick. We'll run through these racers. Of course, the winners of the Fastest Streetcar Shootout classes at the Havlik's Fastest Streetcar Tribute Reunion Race. True Street winner, Mr. Matt McReynolds. This car is awesome. I love this. He races 2 black El Caminos. He won with this one here in True Street. Super cool class. Car went down just about every time. This dude is a genius at that stuff. Super Street winner, Mr. Kyle Morris, in the on the right side of the screen there in the New Edge Mustang. That car, small block Ford powered. I know there's a lot of guys that can't believe small block Fords go that fast, but they did. He ran 787 or 792. I can't remember what his quickest pass was, but in competition he went 799 for the for the drive that, or the Super Street class win. And Steve Morris's dad jumped up and down. I was like, yes, that's awesome. It was pretty cool to see that car go that fast. And then winner of the Outlaw 10.5, Mr. Will Fair, in one of my favorite tri-5s that was there. And there were several of them that was there. This car here, super cool car, and goes very, very fast in Outlaw 10.5. Rob Seaton takes home the win in Nostalgia Pro Street. Rob Seaton wins that class. And then our boy, one of our other favorite folks in the world, Mr. Glenn Hunter Jr., takes the win in Pro Street. This car was on rails all weekend, just absolutely did work. Again, another car is undefeated the whole time. And then Joe Barry, man, I love this car. I love that family. Joe Barry for president, as Adam Dory says all the time. In Nostalgia Outlaw, taking that class win home and showed a real, a lot of sportsmanship. There was a green Chevelle that was once owned by Richie Wyman that was there, that was also racing in Nostalgia Outlaw. And that car did I'm telling you, 350-foot burnout, at least, maybe 400. It was gigantically long, just huge. Car ended up stopping about 660 feet out, and he backed all the way up. Well, when he backed up, something went wrong. Joe Barry shut his car off and gave him time to try and get it started. They couldn't get it going again, but they ended up finally just bowing out, and Joe made a pass down the track to move on to the finals the next morning. So Nostalgia Outlaw winner, Mr. Joe Barry. And then, of course, Bryant Goldstone, Brian Robbins win the overall Outlaw class with Jason Hurley, one of our good friends, going to the finals with them. Crazy event, man. I mean, just to think that Bryant went completely undefeated in every elimination race that he had was pretty badass. And the race with Nick Cryer, literally by 7 thousandths was the difference there. And it shouldn't have been that close at all, but that's the way it goes in racing. That's why everybody loves it. And then to do the drag and drive shootout, which is kind of like a secondary part here, but Brian and Jess are such huge drag and drive fans and racers that obviously they had to put this in. So you did the drive, come back. The MAG sponsored the Big Tire Shootout. The Big Tire part of the drag and drive shootout, $5,000 to win. Mr. Bryant Goldstone and Brian Robbins took that money home. So that's $8,000 they put in their pocket this weekend. And then Mr. Glenn Hunter won the small tire portion, sponsored by Rocky Mountain Race Week. So love to see, drag and drive companies and events hosting, promoting other events by, sponsoring classes and helping with promotion and posting about it and all that stuff. And of course, Matt Frost came all the way down to race here in the event too. So it was pretty cool to see all those guys. Let me see. I've got a couple pictures here I want to show you guys from Eric, and then also from Dirty Panda, the Mr. Richard Brewer himself. So I thought this shot was really cool. Matt lining up against Jason Hurley. This was early on, and those guys really only rolled this thing out to about 150 feet and then both let off. I wish we had seen them line up together for an eliminations round. And maybe we did. Maybe they did go in the semis together. I can't remember. Jason Hurley, huge burnout when he come down for Sunday morning. I think he ran it out to about 200 feet. And then, of course, some of the Pro Street stuff. Mike Cotton was there in the 80s Pro Street car here, early 90s Pro Street car. It's freaking awesome. Steve Morris, I thought this was a great shot by Eric, just of down the track and just how wide that car looks. And then, of course, the one we showed earlier here with Bryant Goldstone's boat, 2 of his cars there. Can't wait to see this Corvette take on the drag and drive world. And, of course, the Javelin that is just, it's been on a tear, man, absolute tear. It's been awesome watching that car do what it does. And then Brian Havlik in here saying Rocky Mountain Race Week guys. We got Brandon Holmes. And you're saying drag and drive, supporting other drag and drives. That's how this community keeps growing. That's 100%. There were a lot of drag and drive guys in the pits. Rich Bellmond, Tom McGilton, Jason Hurley. I saw Nico Cristoferi was there. Man, a lot of friends. I'm trying to remember everybody that I walked around. It was awesome. Matt Frost said he didn't make the call against Jason. That's dang it. At that point, it was he was fixing some oil line repair that drug on the drive part of the drag and drive portion. So, and then Azim Sheik here says, I wish I'd made it out there last weekend. Man, me too. It'd have been great to see you and hang out, but hopefully we'll see you at Drag Week coming up. He's got a 10-0 championship to run after here. And then Doug Needle here saying, I'll take September weather next year. I was spent, maybe move it ahead a month. Yeah. We all struggled pretty hard with the temps, but it was worth it, man. It was really cool. And then Rovic, yes, dude, sorry. Yeah, thank you. Rovic was there. It was so cool to see him come down. Jan Haas came down from Nebraska to spend time at the event. It was really cool to see everybody kind of come in and do all their stuff and be a part of that whole program, man. I'm telling you, in the article I wrote yesterday, we're literally watching history be made. This is a big movement for this event and for the Havliks to take this on. There's a lot of history there that you have a real good opportunity if you're not involved for the right reason and doing it because of the passion, because you love it, you can really screw some stuff up. And they did not screw anything up. It was amazing to watch those guys work and the whole team that they had there. I mean, they had a huge staff on site. It was inspiring, to be honest with you. Those guys did a great job and just absolutely killed it. It was impressive to say the least. And again, thanks to Molly Motorsports for being part of our program here at Drag Drive Repeat. If you guys are needing some pistons, you got to hit those guys up. Perfect. Appreciate them. Oh, hey, yeah. Rovic in here saying, hey, dude, it was an awesome event. It sure was, man. And again, I'm so glad you came over and hung out. It was pretty cool to see you. Howie Price, that was another drag and drive racer that came down in the big wagon. Man, there were so many people. I'll have to go through the photos. Eric White is posting photos on Drag Drive Repeat and on his personal page. So if you are not following Eric White, please go do that so you can see all the photos. Again, thanks to Molly. Thanks to everybody that came out and did fun stuff. We're going to bring on the Nightmare Garage folks here in just a few minutes. But first, you know what we got to do. We got to thank you guys for being our race car friends. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Appreciate you guys being here, doing all of this with us. Hit the share button because the second half of the show is going to be awesome. We talk about the next generation all the time and how young kids aren't into cars. Well, you're fixing to meet some that are definitely into cars, and they're going to help spur along that generation, I promise you. Thank you so much to our sponsors who make all the travel, the equipment purchases, the rental cars that we've got to get, the hotel rooms, all that kind of stuff possible. So if you're shopping, just know that these folks support us here and the entire Drag and Drive community. So if you're doing it, please hit them up first. We'd appreciate it. Summit Racing, Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's cams, Luke, our boy, love you, buddy. Appreciate all the help you give us on everything. J-Wire Solutions, again, who's going to be on next week. AFCO Racing Shocks, who've got to get Eric on. We got to talk about some in-depth nerdy stuff. Performer Built Transmissions, got to get Ryan on, but I'm going to stop by his shop and see him whenever we're at Drag Week. He's like 15 minutes from New Media. So Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV with exclusive Drag Drive Repeat content, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Man, listen, if you want to support folks, go support those folks and spend your money over there. We'd appreciate it for sure. And the gentleman's agreement is simply this. I love doing this. Eric loves doing this, but we need part of this agreement is that you will also do your part, and that is to follow us wherever you're watching us here, and then subscribe. If you're not subscribed, do that. Follow or subscribe wherever you're at. That's all we're asking. We can't make sure you do it, but we're going to keep doing this. You do that, we'll be all set. All right, let me do this ad read, and then we're going to bring in the Nightmare Garage folks here. He's slide. Okay, Deechworks is a leading manufacturer of high performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, fuel pumps, pump modules, fuel rails, regulators, filters, lines, and fittings, and surge tanks, all engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 2200 or more horsepower. Guys, find them deechworks.com. If you don't know how to spell that, just screenshot this here, and then it'll take you right there. So our folks tonight are a young couple that I met on Heads Up Hustle. And I'll tell you what, I didn't know they drove their car all the way there, pulling a trailer, doing all this fun stuff until like the end of the event. And I hated myself for it because they worked their absolute butts off. So please do me a favor, hit the share button as we move in here and bring in the couple that runs Nightmare Garage. Let me pull off this big Heads Up or Deechworks deal. Y'all, tell us who you are, what you're doing, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah. My name is Peter Sizzler. I'm 23 years old. I started working on cars, I think when I was 16 or so. Just
Man,
kind of
so
dove into it.
long time.
Oh yeah, it's been a couple of years. I'm getting old. No, but I got introduced to it through one of my buddy's uncles. He used to bracket race and stuff, and he had a Plymouth Belvedere that he raced since he was, I don't know, 19 or something, and that was always really cool. And he took us to the racetrack, so. My buddy kind of got me hooked on cars, and I ended up picking up my first car, which was a 1990 Camaro, and that went terribly as first car, and everything was self-taught. So, but
yeah, not the car to learn on, man.
Yeah, no, I learned a bunch of stuff, and I guess then I got into other cars as well. But
right, was it the tune port? I guess in that car was it V8 or V6?
It was a 305. So yeah,
it
was a V8.
Yeah,
but
one with burnouts for hours.
Yeah, it had a bent frame and everything. I did not know what I was supposed to be looking for when I was buying cars back then. So
yeah, you're like Camaro, super cool.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah,
third gen, bro.
Yep,
cool dude in school. Did you have a mullet then?
Dude, I sprouted a mullet. I actually had one.
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, well, Miss Caitlin, introduce yourself. Tell us what you got going on.
All right, my name is Caitlin Jacoby. I'm gonna be 21 very shortly. I kind of got introduced to motorsports through my grandpa and my dad. We always say there's two pictures that kind of describe how it all started, and one is a picture of me standing next to my grandpa's stock car, and the other one is my dad taking me for a ride around the block with his motorcycle when I was just a baby. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that's so dangerous. Motorcycles early on, that'll shape your future right there.
Yeah. No, I had to wait till I was 18 to get a motorcycle.
Yeah. So I have the same memory. My dad had motorcycles when I was really young, and then as I was like 6 or 7, maybe 7, I got my first motorcycle, a little Honda 50, and man, 10,000 miles I bet I put on that thing around our yard.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It tore up a ton of stuff, mainly the yard with that thing. We figured out you could do little dirt burnouts, slide the back. Anyway,
yeah.
this is about you guys. So so you got your first motorcycle at 18. What'd you get?
I got a CBR 250, and
Yeah.
then this last spring actually upgraded to a Ninja 500.
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. I was always a sport bike guy way back when. Got 2 kids now, no motorcycles for me.
Okay.
Too many people on the road, but
Yeah.
I probably haven't had a motorcycle in as long as you've been alive. So,
That could be.
sheesh, man, that makes me feel old. Anyways, all right, well, let's talk about some of this stuff because I want this first bit to be people getting to know you, right? I want to know who you are, where you're from, all that stuff we've gone over. But I want to know about this Camaro. We talked just for a brief second. I think it was maybe Saturday night
Mhm.
at Heads Up Hustle about the first Camaro you built, but you had put in a deal with John Paul, which I thought he was going to be on here with us tonight. I'm going to text him here in just a second while you're telling this story. But yeah, tell us about this Camaro right here.
So this Camaro, so after the first Camaro that I bought, that 1990, we found a bent frame on that thing about a year after I got it or so. And after seeing that and multiple other issues, we kind of decided that car wasn't the right car to build like into something cooler. So I got rid of that one and I found this car. It was in a junkyard. I paid $900 for the chassis. It came with no wheels, tires, or anything. It was completely bare bones, and we brought it in. We put a small block Chevy in it and Super T10, and we ran that for probably about a year or so, and then maybe 2 years. And after a while, I started working full time in a factory, and I actually had access to real money at that point.
Nice.
So
dangerous.
Yeah, that's exactly where it starts. And throughout a couple years in between there, I'd put aluminum heads on the small block and all that stuff, and I swapped a T5 into it as well. And we had been testing on the street and stuff a bunch back then, and I ended up shattering third gear in a T5, which everybody knows you'll do.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was like, well, we need to buy a trans that I can never break. So I bought a T56 that was rated at like 1,200 horsepower, and that's kind of where this whole twin turbo thing started. Because the transmission's rated for this much power. There's no sense in putting a small block that only makes 400 behind in front of it. So
yeah, because we got all this room to grow. Yeah.
So we knew nothing really about fuel injection. Me and my buddy Adam. He also has a YouTube channel, Redneck Racing. So if you want to see some old stuff, that's where to see that.
Old stuff. You mean like 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
Like the small block Chevy stuff that we didn't know what we were doing. That's
awesome.
It's comedic. But no, we broke third gear, and I got a trans that would hold power, and so we kind of dove headfirst into the LS stuff because as far as making cheap power and reliable power, that's kind of what we heard was the way to go.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we were doing, but we just kind of went for it. And we ended up building a 6-liter LS, pretty much bone stock other than the rods and pistons, and I put a set of heads on it.
Nice. So not stock at all. Stock crank and block. That's it. Everything else has been touched.
Everything,
pretty close to stock though.
The only things that are stock I think left, I think, are the crank and the block. So
yeah, bolt-ons.
Yeah, exactly.
On, yeah.
But no, and then he convinced me to do twin turbos, and that wasn't really hard to do. He didn't have to twist my arm that bad. So
right, especially like he's like, dude, look at all this room under the hood of this Camaro.
Yeah,
we have so much room.
There's plenty of room, and the turbos were actually under the hood for probably about a year.
Oh, that's so boring.
And that's kind of what I figured. Like, you don't know if you have a turbo unless you can see it.
Thank you.
That's the obvious answer.
Yes.
So, I ended up sticking them out through the hood. A lot of it was just to see what kind of attention we could drag with the car. So it was kind of cool, and I don't know, pretty neat. And it turned into this. This photo was shortly after they went through the hood, which was, I think, right before the unfortunate mishap. But yeah,
And I'll tell you, this car is a ton of fun to watch, or the new car is a ton of fun to watch. We're going to talk about the new car in a minute, but it's a ton of fun because, man, those turbos just rock when it's on the two steps. I'm sure at night this thing looks
it is
intimidating.
sick. It'll shoot like a 4 or 5 foot fireball out of both
Yes.
stacks and the wastegates, and it is the loudest car at the track on the two step. That's
Yeah.
a guarantee.
Well, and I think what's really fun, and this is going to sound bad, but as young as you are, and then you pull up and it's got turbos out of the hood, and people are like, "Oh man, what do we got going on here?" And then like, the car works, man.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know it was a stick the first time you launched. And I was like, "Man, he left pretty easy." But then after learning, I was like, "Oh yeah."
Yep.
Keep things together, especially when you drive it all the way from home.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, so walk us through this car. So this car is T56. Is this car T5, you said, or T56?
Currently, it is a face-plated T56 from Tick Performance. It's their ultimate drag racing transmission. It's got a triple disc R monster clutch. It's the 6-liter LS with 237 PRC heads, twin 62, 67 millimeter turbos, just air-to-air intercooler. It's on pump E85, and it's on a ladder bar setup. Currently, it's sitting on coilovers. This picture was taken with the stock, pretty much stock suspension. So,
Wow, that's awesome. And so this car, unfortunately,
whoops.
Part of being a YouTuber is recording stuff and putting out there. But listen, I started recording to YouTube at 2016 or 17 because, man, I wanted those memories. Like I wanted that, and I wanted people to know if I'm willing to screw up, you can too, and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it shows, hey, I got some resilience here. So tell us what happened.
So long story short, probably about at this point, we've been testing and messing around on the street like a lot of car guys do, and we've never had a problem with it. And, it's just, you kind of get looser on your checks and safety stuff, and just looser in general. And it kind of got the best of me anyways. And we always went and took our buddies for rides and stuff in each other's cars and whatever. And it was right after I got the faceplated transmission, and I've been driving around for a couple weeks. So, with the faceplated thing, and I figured out how to shift it without using the clutch, and went to go take a buddy for a ride and stuff, and didn't turn out so good. So a lot of it was I didn't do any of my checks that I should have. I should have set tire pressure. I should have changed shock settings. I should adjust the anti-roll bar for the extra weight in the other side of the car.
But you were just going for, was it just a street drive?
Yeah, we just went out on the street. And,
yeah, man. And that's the thing. Oh, we weren't doing anything. We weren't crazy.
So yeah, no. I got after it a little bit, and I think I had changed the steering rack as well from a regular gearbox to a rack and pinion, so that changed the ratio.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So it didn't quite react the way I was used to, and a lot of it, it was just I wasn't quite used to how the car reacted, and maybe a little overconfident on my side, and it got away from me a little bit. I tried to pull a chute to save it, and it ended up tap dancing off into a ditch full of about 3 foot of swamp water. So that was fun. And as you can see, there's a tree-shaped dent in the backside of her, and I smoked a dead tree with it on the side. It spun the car around, and it's pretty twisted up.
Yeah, I would say that's no good.
Everybody walked away with no injuries or anything. We got extremely, extremely lucky, and that has been the last time we've ever been on the street since then. So,
well, I was going to say the hardest part about experience is that you have to get some experience to know what to do next time. You know what I mean? Like, you get wild with it next time, it gets a little loose. You're like, I'm going to let out.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of trying to drive through, which, hey, we all have done that. We've all put cars in the ditches and on the side and up against trees.
Yep.
That's what I know. So New car. There was
Yep.
another shot in here. Hold on. So that's
Yep.
there after you. I'm sure after you got it home. Yeah, this shot here. So walk us through what's going on right here.
Okay. The cage is actually my buddy Chevelle that we built this last year.
Because I
But
was thinking, I'm like, dang, dude, did he? I was like, how did that cage not get damaged? I was thinking it
no,
was under the floor of the Camaro.
the cage actually, and there's an 850 cage, and it's completely untouched. It just
Wow.
destroyed the body.
Yeah.
But long story short, I'm rebuilding that car. I'm going to leave the tree-shaped dent in it because I think it tells a story, and it kind of shows people what you shouldn't do. And like, hey, don't be stupid. You can get hurt. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Some of the best lessons are learned the hard way, and I think if anybody can, even one person can learn from my mistake, I think that is that's a win right there. So
yeah.
Currently, I'm rebuilding this car into a burnout car that I would take to bigger shows like Destruction up at our local racetrack. You know, they got a big crowd, and I would do massive burnouts with. I'm hoping to put a blower on it. We'll see, but we'll get there.
That'll be cool, and it'll have a great story behind it. You know what I mean? Like it gives you again another reason. Somebody's gonna walk by and go, "Dude, what happened?" You have to tell them, and that's why it's a burnout car.
Yeah. No, you want to see getting roasted in the comments? You should have seen the comments on those videos. I was getting murdered. It was bad.
Oh man, yeah, I haven't watched the video yet, but I can only imagine. Like everybody's a better driver than you've ever thought about being when they're behind their keyboard.
Yep.
But again, like I said, dude, you got to, listen. I've put motorcycles in ditches. I've flipped stuff. All kind. That's the only way you know how to get that experience is to do that, or you just don't drive to the limit, but you don't know where that limit is. So
exactly.
Yeah, so I'm just glad you guys weren't hurt. But tell us about this new car. So how? Because from my understanding, this is a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah. So long story short, I've always heard stories of people getting scared of racing again after a wreck like that, and I love racing and I want to continue to race, and I did not want that to be a fear for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much threw everything I had at building a new car. I remember at one point in time, I had $134 in my bank account.
You were rich, dude.
Oh yeah, I was all in on this deal, and we built the car in 2 months. We had this new car back at the track in 2 months.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, we found a chassis a week after the wreck, up about 4 hours north of us, and we went and got that the next day.
Man, that's crazy. Did it already have a cage and stuff in it?
It actually had the cage in it. That's why I bought it, because I didn't want to have to redo the cage, because that would take me another week or so. So, yeah.
So was there a deadline? Like, was it a race you were trying to make? I mean,
not really. It was just we were also challenging ourselves to see how fast we get it together. And I really wanted to rip that Band-Aid off of racing and just get it over with, get back on the track, and get comfortable again, and but do it more responsibly this time.
Well, I mean, you're already at the track. That helps.
Exactly. Yeah. No, at least there's a safety crew there and stuff. So
yeah. Any changes between the two cars, or did you basically just pull the powertrain, everything over, and put it in the new one?
It's a very similar setup. This car has a lot more changes than the black car did. This is a ladder bar setup. So I went to coilovers in the back, and then just over this last winter, I put tubular A-arms in the front with coilovers and stuff like that. And I added a whole bunch of shock sensors and stuff last winter, and just trying to collect all the data that we can possibly get.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's very similar setup. Same drivetrain. The rear end is actually out of that car. Believe it or not, it wasn't.
Dang.
It wasn't bent from what I could tell. I'm starting to have second doubts about it right now, but because it keeps chewing up the bearing on the passenger side. So I'm wondering if that housing is just a little bit tweaked and it's just enough to. Put
some heat and pressure. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we had a spare one on the heads up hustle. So
nice.
We were dialed.
That's cool. Well, what engine management's in it?
It's a Holly Dominator.
Oh, dang, dude. Come
Yeah.
on. Yeah, I like your style.
I go all in on everything. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, normally it'd be, factory ECU or Terminator X,
Yeah.
but yeah, good job, dude. And
Yeah.
you start talking about data and data points. You almost have to have a Dominator at that
Yeah.
point to get everything.
Especially in the stick shift game, because I made my own strain gauge. Because to buy a strain gauge shift knob, it's like $800.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spend that kind of money, so I just made my own. And I don't know if you guys know a feller named Evan Erkowitz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he helps me out a lot, and
Oh, nice.
he helped me. I did the hardware side of it, and he kind of figured it out in the ECU and stuff, and
That's awesome.
it actually works pretty good. So
what you're saying is you need to start mass producing those and
I have thought about it, but
selling those.
we're gonna wait on that for a little while.
Yeah, you got to get the car running 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk ETs, man. What kind of times was this car running and or is running and all that?
The fastest the car's ever been, has been a 910 at 155 on
Man,
about
that's fast.
20 pounds or so. So
Wow.
we got time left on the table. I'm hoping to put her down in the 850s or 860s by the end of the year, but we'll see how that goes. But
well, the weather only gets better from here.
that is true. Boost weather.
Yeah, right. And they're out front, so it's perfect.
Exactly.
Helps with all the stuff. It's like a Ram Air effect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to talk about one last thing in the Detroit segment here, and then we're going to talk about the Heads Up Hustle next. Let's talk about this YouTube channel, dude. You do a great job. Bunch of videos over there. Man, a great follower count. So it means you're doing something right. So tell us why you started this, where it's headed.
A lot of it has just been I enjoy making videos. I actually enjoy watching my own videos back sometimes, like a year or two later, and just be like, oh, yeah, we did that. That was cool.
Yep.
It's kind of cool to capture a bunch of memories and get to show other people that, I guess, because there's a lot of people out there that don't have the know-how or don't want to or the money to attempt, some of these things, and I think it's kind of cool if we can share that. So, it's a lot of that.
When you get old like me, the documentation of those times is awesome. We're coming up on nearly 10 years of having stuff on YouTube. It's a big deal. So one of our best videos on the shop channel that we have, it was my dad and I putting a seat cover on, and my dad passed in 2020. So my kids were too little to really spend a ton of time. So their kids will be able to watch, what their great grandfather would have been able to, so I mean, it's really cool to have that. And plus, here's my biggest thing is I want to be able to, when I'm telling the story and people are like, oh, whatever, I can be like, oh, well, hang on, let me just pull it up right here. And I'll show you. It'd be easier if I showed you, Yeah.
No, there's been tons of times I've done that. It's like, oh, you lit a Christmas tree on fire with your car? Oh yeah, here, look at this.
Yeah, they're like, wait, what? Yeah, that's exactly right. There's a lot of cars that hopped Coke cans back in the 70s and 80s that nobody has proof of. But we'll all have proof of stuff we've done. So 4,000 subscribers, dude. Congratulations, especially on 78 videos. So it must mean you guys are doing something right. I'll tell you, that's it's pretty good numbers there.
The thing that we did right was apparently rack. That's where all the subscribers came from.
I don't recommend that kind of growth.
I don't either. But no, we've seen a lot of return from the drag and drive as well. So that's been really really cool to see that people are enjoying that.
Well, perfect. Well, let's use that to segue into the Performa-Built transmission segment here. And just want to say thanks to DeechWorks and all the stuff they do for us here. Love those guys. Mark Campbell is going to be on next week for episode 120 to talk about 850 racing, which, you're talking about 850 stuff. 850 in a stick car, craziness. Violence is what that is. So I'm excited to have Mark on. He's not a stick shift guy. He's a guy, but whatever. But Performa-Built transmissions build some of the baddest automatics on the planet. and Ryan and the team up there just know how to do it. They specialize in GM stuff, 4L60, 4L80. They've got the standing 4L60 quarter mile record car right now. And if they can build a transmission to support 5,000 pound car in the high nines, you know that they can build something for your regular car. So Performer Built Transmissions, official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. Okay, let's talk about this trip, dude. For the folks that are coming in just now, look, these young folks here, Nightmare Garage, Peter and Caitlin, drove this Camaro. Was this 1,000 miles, 800 miles, something crazy? Took a ferry across the water, did all kinds of fun stuff, did Heads Up Hustle 2025. So we're going to talk about that experience right here. Dude, this is a crazy map.
Yeah, it was an awesome trip. We total round trip was 1,104 miles or something like that. Like it was one of those, test your build. Is your craftsmanship, as good as you think it is? So
yeah.
No, but we're kind of throwing around the idea of, going to Heads Up Hustle, and we're like, well, either we can drive through Chicago or we can take the Badger over, which is a ferry. And we figured that would be a really cool experience because it's only a couple times in a lifetime you might do that. So
especially in a cool car.
Yeah. You should have seen the reaction from all the crew members.
I bet. They're used to seeing like boring stuff, they'd be pulling and that thing just cackling, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, we got to the ferry and they load the cars for you. So I was a little bit nervous about it, but
hang on. Somebody had to drive this for you.
They had to drive it onto the ship. It was pretty funny. The first
Did you at least ride with them?
Yeah, I rode with them. I filmed everything too. It was pretty good.
Nice.
No, but the first guy, he only stalled it once. I was pretty impressed with his performance.
Dude, especially with like a triple disc setup.
Yeah.
Like
what's
the leg pressure on that thing?
It's a hammer. Yeah.
And it's connected. Yeah.
Yep. It's
no more slippage there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you're coming across on the ferry. How long of a ride is that?
It's about a 4-hour trip on the boat.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, and it was kind of nice because it gave you a break too from the trip. You just sit on a boat, and I think we had some popcorn and went and watched some water and stuff, and took a nap on the deck. And honestly, it was very, very nice experience. If anybody gets a chance to do that, it is worth it. Very
well,
worth it.
And I would think the 4-hour ferry ride is definitely cooler than adding. What would it have added time wise to the drive if you had driven to Chicago?
It was about the same, actually.
No way,
Yeah.
man. God, it just would have sucked.
Yeah,
so much
exactly. And driving that car with the trailer behind it too. That trailer is shaped like a brick, so.
So it moves around some, and it's got a triple disc. If everybody is wondering, yes, that's a triple disc clutch on a street car pulling a trailer. It's like locked up.
Yeah,
okay, we're good.
No, to that point, one of the guys unloading it, I think it was maybe on a trip back, he unloaded it and he got a little bit excited and revved her up to like 3,000 and just kind of dropped the clutch.
Oh.
He just did like a burnout, like 20 feet out of the Badger. Just
yeah, that's awesome.
It was pretty epic.
Yeah. So you guys come across the boat, man. Like that part of Michigan, I'm really impressed with. It was really pretty, and I can only imagine what that part looked like as you come off the boat and across there.
Yep.
Obviously, we started at Ubley. I would say, I'm guessing here, probably your first time over that way.
Yeah. So I've never been to Michigan. Never been on a drag and drive at all. This is his first time trying this out. We figured it was being that it's kind of a weekend deal, a 3-day thing. It'd be a good thing to kind of get our feet wet, and it's a good event to start on for sure. And I think we're hoping to go back as well. So
yeah, I would definitely love to have you guys back. I think to me, it's the best way to set up for eliminations, right? Yeah, 2 days, 2 different tracks to work on your average, and then you come in and that sets the ladder for the elimination. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. And so we got to Ubley. I think it was, what was that? Thursday night? Yeah, it was Thursday night. And I built this trailer so we can sleep in the trailer. It's got 2 hammocks hanging, and all the sides open up. And there's a screen on the front. So what we do is we close the 3 sides and then just leave the front one open with the screen at night. And I had a clutch fan, to cool off my clutch.
I was like, wait, what? I thought you were talking like the clutch fan that goes on the front of a motor. Why does that matter? Anyway.
Yeah. No, but a fan to cool off the car. And we just stuck that kind of in the screen and blew air. And it actually happened to rain that night and completely fried that clutch fan. Oh. So we didn't have that the rest of the week either.
Yep.
Nice.
But
at least there's some airflow in there.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. The hammocks, I'm 6'3", so the hammocks are only 6 foot. So I was,
it was not good.
It was kind of a game of Tetris fitting in there. But
and how long was the trailer?
The trailer is also 6 feet.
Oh yeah,
so
that's the other problem.
Yeah.
So you have a 6 foot piece of cloth hanging here, and you in it that's 6'3".
Yeah.
It didn't work out super great, but
Caitlin's like, it was great. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, but he was like, "Oh, I found a new way to put my feet. I think it's a little better." And then he's like, "Nope, it's not better."
Not better. No, I can't put these in that fan outside.
Yeah.
Open that back door up. I'm going to hang them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hammock's a pretty good idea. I'll have to say I have not seen that on drag and drive stuff. I really like that.
We figured it was the cheapest option, and because I built that trailer for around $600.
Oh wow!
So when I priced out hotels, and it was going to be for us, being that we were going to stay an extra 2 days, it'd be around $1,000 for a hotel. So
yeah,
trailer and hammocks it is. So
yeah, I mean 100%. And I say this all the time: camping will allow people to do more events.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're not dropping $1,000 in a weekend to stay somewhere.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, very creative thought process there. I like that. And so you built the whole thing for $600. That's one pretty impressive there. But then to think, instead of just laying like a mattress on the floor, which probably would have been easier, to be honest with you, you're gonna hang these up. But in theory, they would have been way more comfortable than a mattress on the floor.
Yeah. There will be renditions, some changes for next time. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. The theory was we can still leave most of our stuff in the trailer underneath us if we want to. And the hammocks are always hung there. So when we get to the track, we just throw everything outside like a yard sale and jump in the hammock, and we're good to go. Yeah.
So I wonder if you could run because you're so tall, you get one that's 7 or 8 feet long. You just run a rod that slides out the back, and it just carries the end of it out. Get you a little. But you said you did close all 3 sides.
I do close all 3 sides. Yeah. Yep. You just got to lay me diagonally in the trailer. Get a couple extra inches.
Yeah, I don't think she wants that. Then you're in her space. Yeah,
I'll get elbowed really fast.
Yeah, but interesting idea, man. I really like that. That's a good idea. And to build a trailer for $600, pretty inexpensive. Shows some will there to do some wheeling and dealing.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys camped all week. Pretty awesome. You said you stayed 2 extra days. What did you guys just stay to hang out? Stay to race somewhere? What was going on?
It was just our travel days, really, because from there to Ubley was 6 hours, 8 hours.
Well, it was about 2 hours to the ferry, and then we took 4 hours on the ferry, and then it was about 3.5 to the racetrack.
Yeah, we had at least 8 hours in travel, so we needed a day of travel before and after the event. Especially with the ferry in there, because the ferry only comes over at certain times. So,
if you show up too early, you're there for hours waiting, or if you miss it,
exactly.
It'll be back
I guess
tomorrow.
You're driving to Chicago now. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so we decided to take a day before and after for travel, and it was kind of cool though. It gave us an extra time to, enjoy the car and the scenery and stuff, and it was a good time. We had a little generator, and we were cooking some cheesy weenies on a hot plate with hash browns and stuff all week, and it was good. It was good.
Making some of your neighbors jealous, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's some dudes like, what you got going on over there?
Yeah, I'm sure if anybody knew, they'd have been coming over.
Yeah. Well, tell me about this transmission repair on Sunday, because you guys had it was crazy. I want people to understand at home and the folks that are watching this, like, we pull in Sunday morning and you're putting the transmission fluid in huge Ziploc bags, like gallon Ziploc bags. And he's being so cautious. He's like setting it there so it doesn't fall, leaning up against, I can't, there's a box or a fuel jug or something there. And, you're like draining all this fluid out. What were you guys working on?
So I think it was
Saturday.
It was Saturday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it would have been Saturday. Started on Saturday. So we just had been to Mountain Machine as our checkpoint, and just after that, just as we were getting into like the Detroit area, like just into it, the clutch pedal went away. There was no clutch at all, like none. And so we pulled into an apartment complex and kind of contemplated our options, and we were like, well, it's faceplated, so it's really easy to just smack gears and drive without a clutch.
Mm-hmm.
So we were running it on the starter at stoplights and stuff. We flipped the ignition on and just put it in first and just let it rip on the starter for a while.
Yeah,
and,
For starter.
Yeah, which we got really lucky about. Another thing too. Earlier that day, we had made another repair at Melling. The main power wire had completely fried itself, and the car wouldn't start anymore when we got to Melling. It had been starting hard a couple of days before that. So Melling actually, it was really cool. We basically got a private tour of Melling because they helped us fix it and stuff. So
you're like, please, I need help.
It was awesome. It was super cool.
That was cool.
But no, so if we didn't fix that wire first, we'd have been completely screwed. But
oh yeah.
So yeah, we limped it. We were like, well, we got to limp it to GM Performance and get our picture taken there or whatever, and then back to Ubley. So I think it's about a 3-hour drive from where it first kind of broke. We weren't really sure what was wrong with it. We figured it was either a master cylinder or a slave cylinder. I had a spare slave cylinder for some reason.
So you're like, that's what we're doing.
I packed like 3 parts, and one of them was a slave cylinder. So
8 hours from home.
Yeah,
we have 3 parts for repair.
Yeah, we were throwing darts at a wall. It was hoping it sticks. So no, we limped her back to Ubley. We got there probably around 10 o'clock that night.
Yeah,
something like that. 10 o'clock, and super pretty drive. It was awesome.
Sunset was really cool.
Yeah, it was the best sunset we've seen all week. And we were just hoping, we were like, all right, well, on the drive home, the clutch pedal has slowly started to come back up a little bit. So we're like, okay, maybe it's rejuvenating on itself. I love problems that fix themselves.
Yeah, totally.
So we got to the track, and we're like, all right, well, let's leave it overnight. It'll cool off. Maybe we just completely bake the fluid, and maybe we'll get away with it. And so next morning, I went to go check on it and see how it was doing, and just pushed it with my finger all the way to the floor. Just nothing.
Dang it.
So we're like, all right, well, we're still going to finish because we'll just run it on the starter, and off the line and just race it that way. We're not going to win or anything, but we'll finish, and it'll be awesome. But one of the other racers was kind enough to go grab us some brake fluid. So we threw that in the reservoir and started trying to figure out exactly what it was. And shortly after, I realized it was just dumping fluid out of the slave cylinder.
Oh yeah.
So at that point, we had about 2.5 hours till elimination started, and I figured we could probably pull the tranny in 3 or so. So we're gonna go for it and see if we can make it stick.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we went for it, and that's where the baggies come in. So the tranny takes special tranny fluid, and you can't find it at like any auto parts store.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, 2000. It's blue, and Smurf. Yeah, it looks like a Smurf.
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah.
But no, you can't find it anywhere. And I only had about 2 quarts extra,
Oh
along
man.
with me, so we had to make sure that we saved it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it was very tense.
it
Like
was,
that, like
yeah,
as you guys are draining that is when I walk up with the camera and I'm like, I'll come back. I'll come back.
yeah.
And then you guys thrashed on that for I mean at least 2.5 or 3 hours. Like it was
Yeah.
solid thrash
So
over there.
about 2 hours in or so, we finally got the tranny out. We never actually pulled the transmission out off of the car that way. Usually, I just pull the whole motor and trans out, and it's all done.
Yeah.
So long story short, it actually doesn't come off easily at all. Like there's a lot of stuff that's in the way, and we ended up pulling the bell housing off the motor, and that didn't work. So we ended up pulling the transmission off the bell housing, and like that barely squeaks by.
Oh my gosh.
It was not a good deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did that. We got our slave cylinder changed out and stuff for the old one I had, and along the way, some of the racers were super kind and helpful and brought us a tent and everything. That's a lifesaver on that day. It was hot.
It was. Yeah.
But about 2 hours in, we finally had it out, and John Paul came in and talked to us, and he's like, "Hey, just we're gonna be calling you guys here in like 20 minutes or so. So, how close are you guys?" We're like, probably not gonna make the round call. So, it's unfortunate, but is what it is. But we still got to drive the thing home, so we got to fix it either way.
Yeah.
We're still hustling away on it, and we hear through the grapevine that somebody blew a tranny line or something and oiled down the entire track
And return lane
or something. So we were like, "Oh, that'll take a while to clean up." So we got to go.
Yeah.
So that bought us about, I think it was around a 3-hour like cleanup or something like that. It was a while.
It was at least 2.5. Yeah.
So we, long story short, we got everything back together. We got all the fluids in it and stuff. We got the clutch bled. It was kind of not perfect, but it was going to work. We had the buy run, so we just had to break the beams.
Oh yeah.
So we ended up making the round call by about 30 seconds.
Hang on. You had the buy run because you were the number one qualifier.
Well, I thought we were number 2.
Oh, I thought y'all were number one qualifier. I thought that's why you got the buy.
I don't know.
I think we ended up being second to the Mustang.
Yeah. He was kicking our butt all week. He was like 3/10 faster or something.
Oh, I thought you guys. That's why I thought you guys had to buy. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Cool.
But, no, it was still cool to run second all week, and But so we got up there about 30 seconds before, and we were both wiped out. I made my pass. It was not a beautiful pass. It blew.
Hang on, sir. You just skated right by that, y'all. I want you to understand. Everybody, listen to this. I'm literally in the tower calling these. We get the track back together. The car that blew the transmission line was the third car down the track, right down the right lane. So we had Unlimited had ran. That was like True Street or something like that. I can't remember the class name. And then it was one more class, and then Stick Shift. We're halfway through the class in front of Stick Shift, and he pulls up. Like, this is a big deal. You're trying to blow over it. I mean, dude, like, you literally slide in middle of the line to end up in your spot. It's pretty awesome.
No, I could tell you everybody in the pits was cheering for us too. They were
they were all like running around, and they're like, "What do you need? Do you need a ratchet? Do you need a 12-point socket?" And then they were like wrenching on stuff, and they're like, "Man, this bolt sucks." And he's like, "How many more do we got?" And you just hear them like talking to each other and yelling at the car. It was so funny.
It was really cool just like to see the drag and drive and like car enthusiast spirit kind of like in real life. Like, you hear about it, but like it's a real thing, It was really cool to see.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, especially like to look over and see you guys still just over there thrashing. And as soon as the lane went down, I think like half the people were like, "Man, they may make it." Hey, this could work out. Let's give some more time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to your story. You pull in the lanes in the middle of everybody, just in the nick of time, like 30 seconds longer than you'd have had to give up your spot.
Yep. And yeah, I make the pass. It's blows the tires off because the clutch is all jacked up now because it's not sitting right, and the way I built my own clutch tamer for the car that we're still working out the bugs on, so that wasn't adjusted right or anything. It was way wrong, but it made the pass, and I just, you know, I was super cranked up. I was sitting there hooting and hollering at the end of the track. It was great.
That is too cool.
Yeah, and then went back to the pits and started to make adjustments on it. I stacked a bunch of boost out the back a little bit, just a little, you know, because I knew we couldn't 60 foot that day. We weren't going to be able to catch that 60 foot. Made some adjustments. Drank a ton of water. We were both, yeah,
Dehydrated.
It was not good.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing too. Like when you're thrashing like that, dude, you don't feel like you have the 45 seconds to chug water.
No.
It's not on your mind at all either. You're just like, got to get the car done. So yeah, that hit us after first round there.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. No, we went. Go ahead.
I was saying, so you went through first round, and then did you have you drew somebody second round, or like who'd you race second round?
We had to race, I believe it was a Dart.
Yeah, it was a Dodge. It was a like light blue Dodge Dart.
Yep. Yeah, with the Gen 3 Hemi in it, I think.
Yeah.
Super cool car.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I believe he had been slower than us all week.
Mm-hmm.
By a little bit, so I wasn't crazy worried, but we talked to him before the night before the pass.
Yeah.
And he was a pretty awesome dude.
He was cool.
Yeah, we ended up racing him. He got out on me in the 60 foot by a lot. He was probably 2 cars out, and then I just chased him down. I think I had like 20 pounds out the back or something. So it was chooching.
Train, it's coming.
Yeah. And I think I put a car or so on him by the time we hit the stripe. But
that's awesome.
It was a good race, and it was a lot of fun. I've actually never heads up raced before.
Either. Oh wow!
So it's it was
having to leave together, having to get passing by the end that's pretty important. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So by third round, made some more changes of stuff, put more on the scramble because we knew that we were in the finals, and we knew the Mustang was way faster than us, and we're like, well, maybe he'll make a mistake and we'll actually have a shot at this. So I put a bunch on the scramble just in case, and we ended up going up there. And in the second round, I'd heard him fire his car up, and something sounded really chunky, like just like his fuel pump or something didn't sound right. So that was just floating around in the back of my mind. And we go up for the finals, and I pull into the water box, and I'm sitting there waiting to do my burnout, and I'm like, what's going on? He's not pulling into the box. Like, he's got his front tires in, but he just stopped there, and I'm sitting there watching him. After a little while, I don't know if he got out or whatever he did. Yeah. Yep. And the starter guy on the line kind of waited me through to do my burnout and go. I was like, holy crap, I think he broke. Like, that's not the way I want to win, but it kind of sucks. I would rather had a race and honestly almost take second place, but that would have been cooler. But I mean, I'll still take it, I guess. But no, but I guess he burned up his fuel pump, or the relay for the fuel pump or something melted. And
I went and talked to them right after he made his pass, and the one guy that was with him said he just saw a bunch of white smoke come out the back, and he went up and he was like, nope, you're done, because they burned up the relay on the fuel pump right there. So.
Dang. Yeah. Well, it's probably better they didn't try and make some kind of pass and lean on it and blow everything.
Blow the whole thing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
The pass in the finals was the slowest pass we made all week long. So it's a darn good thing.
Yeah. Dang, that's tough.
We got lucky like 4 or 5 times throughout eliminations, and honestly, all of race week. It was,
I would say you earned that luck. Thrashing like that to get that car back together is pretty cool.
That's a story that'll never happen twice.
I mean, I want folks at home to understand. Literally, 20, 30 seconds later, and he wouldn't have made the call. It was that close. So it's pretty cool to see that happen, and just to know that you guys thrashed that hard to get there. Well, tell us about the drive home. How was that? Like, you got the car kind of fixed. It's coming back around. All the cool stuff from there.
Yeah, so we got up at, I don't know, probably around 2 o'clock in the morning, I think, because we had a ferry. Yeah, a ferry to catch at like 9 or something. So we wanted to make sure that we were there early. And yeah, I don't know. There may or may not have been some sort of larger cat out in the woods or something. We heard something back there, and we are like, nope, we are out of here. So we bailed immediately.
Yeah, at that point, were you guys the only ones at the track?
Yeah, it was like just us. So,
oh, no way.
Yeah, no, we
gone.
Packed up as soon as we could and got out of there. So
you're like stepping outside with a big light. What?
Yep. No, that's exactly what was happening.
Sasquatch out there about to come get you.
Yeah, I thought the only Sasquatch out there was me, but apparently not. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
No, we got on the road, and honestly, the trip back to the ferry went really smooth.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, we got to the ferry, I think around 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, about 6 o'clock.
And we just kind of waited out there. We had we had a bunch of like cheese sticks or something and like meat and stuff in our coolers. So we ate those and kind of just watched the boat come in, and it was really cool. And we, about 9 o'clock, they loaded up the car and stuff. That guy loading it, he did it perfectly. Like,
wow,
he knew what he was doing with a triple disc. So
that's impressive.
I was very impressed with the guy that loaded it the last time.
Like, do you get in there and you kind of go, like, you just look at him like, hey man, it's a triple disc, and he's like, oh cool.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much. He was like, okay. Yeah, he did not seem phased at all. So
wow.
But yeah, no, he loaded up good, and we ended up, making the trip back just fine, and it was really, really cool. The water out there is super blue.
It is.
It's
interesting.
It's the coolest thing. And we got back to Manitowoc, and they let me unload it this time because they had a guy over there like trying to figure out how to start it, and I hear one of the guys go, I don't know how to start this thing, and then just get out of it all like pissed off. And I was like, I can do it.
Yeah, I can drive it off here. Like,
yeah,
that's cool.
So drove it off, and then the rest of the drive home, that went really well. It was just really hot.
It was so hot.
It was really hot in the car.
Sorry, I meant to put this photo up. This is you guys accepting your awards there.
Yeah.
They were super cool looking awards. Like, they even had the metal flake in them. They're really cool.
Yeah, we were very impressed with them. But
I can't get it close enough there. I can't zoom in any more than that. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does a great job, man. I really like the Heads Up Hustle trophies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does good there, especially for stick shift, because they're all a stick shift style,
Yep. No, we were pretty fired up about that.
Yeah, and then what was the other award you guys got?
Yeah, we also got an award for furthest travel as well. So total trip was 1,100 and some miles.
Man, that's crazy.
It's true test of a feller's craftsmanship. So
yeah, and especially, I mean, I'm sure it's not that uncomfortable with the air conditioning and the leather seats,
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. Man, you guys are nuts.
I have ventilation and heat in the car. Even there's just some big holes in the firewall like this that blow hot air.
Yes. Love those in the winter or cold.
Yeah, it's actually kind of nice.
Not so much when it's 107 outside.
Yep.
No.
157 under the hood.
Yep.
So
no, but
that's cool.
Yeah, I'll drive the car all year round too. So
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you stick shift guys are crazy. You know what I mean? Like you're built different, man. It's pretty neat. Well, tell us, like, do you have another drag and drive on your mind? Do you got one more you're planning on?
We may try to make it back to the Heads Up Hustle this next year. We'll see. We have weddings and stuff in July.
Nice.
So we'll see how that goes. But I think we'll definitely be trying to do another drag and drive here in the future.
Yeah. Like other people's weddings?
It may or may not be ours.
Oh,
so.
yeah. That's what we were going to talk about next. So congratulations. That's pretty exciting.
Thank you.
Yep. I was jumping on trying to dig through and get some more photos for the thing today, and I saw that post, and I was like, man, that's awesome. So congratulations to you guys. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I was planning that before the drag and drive, but after the drag, like, she was down there with me, elbows deep in grease and grime, and it's just you don't find another one like that. So.
No, that's for sure. My wife is amazing, and we've been together a really long time, but she is not going on a drag and drive with me. Like, don't want to touch it. I don't like being hot. Don't ask me. But that's part of being together for a long time. You know what comes and what goes. So that's pretty cool. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So the gift you guys can give them, if you're not already doing it, is to go follow Nightmare Garage and be kept up on the wedding there, and then we can all give some race car stuff as we get closer.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, sweet. Well, what else? What haven't we covered? What's going on? What race can people see you guys at?
We don't have too many races left this season. We may end up at Rock Falls. We might end up at Great Lakes Dragway, and we'll be at Kaukauna some more yet.
Say that one more time. What?
Kaukauna.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, Wisconsin International Raceway. There we go.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
We might be there. I'm kind of still helping my buddy build his 67 Chevelle, which is that cage that you showed earlier. We built that cage last winter. That was also a cool experience. It was the first time. It was a 750 cage. First time we ever tried building anything like that, and it turned out really, really nice. So
yeah, let me flip back to that photo real quick. We'll bring it up, and then we'll let you guys go. Hold on, just say we're almost there. I promise. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So cut the floor out of the car. I take it. Yeah, it looks like
whole body.
Yeah, I'll say I didn't see this, and I didn't put the picture of the car in there. I'm sorry, because I was thinking this was for the new car.
Yeah.
Yeah, new frame rails and everything in the back. Man, that's a huge build.
Yeah, no, it was a great learning experience, and it's something cool that we can say that we did and we know how to do now. So yeah, I'm all for learning new things and learning the hard way, unfortunately. But
so for Nightmare Garage, is that like are you moving towards that? Do you want to do some of that fab work for some folks? Do you want to do this for fun?
So the Nightmare Garage, like the channel itself, is more just for entertainment for other people. I probably will add some of that content in there, just sprinkled in, but it's not going to be the base of it. But we probably will end up doing some work for other people just for, financial reasons. Yeah, we can do good work and make something of a profit on it and fund our racing addictions. So.
Yeah, that's what funded my first year of Drag Drive Repeat was turning some wrenches, building some cars for folks, and
awesome,
all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, I mean, and plus it gives you a reason to go work in the shop. So
yeah, exactly.
We're always looking for.
Yeah, no, I
want to build my own stuff now.
I got big projects this winter, so Nightmare's got to come back. That black car with the tree-shaped dent in it, that one's coming back, and. If it is the blower route, it will be costly, especially without any sponsors. But
are you listening, sponsors? He would gladly, if he can do burnout competitions like he can do drag racing, you're in. This is he's the way to go. We all please stay backstage with me while I wrap this show up. But just want to say thanks again for coming on tonight. Again, everybody go follow Nightmare Garage on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Jump over there, get all that stuff going, and obviously in the chat or in the comments on y'all's videos, wish them best of luck on their engagement and all that kind of cool stuff. So thank y'all for being on tonight. I really appreciate
it. We appreciate the opportunity. It's actually been a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, I love this. This is great. And this again, I tell everybody this won't be the last time you're on here. So as we get new updates and you guys get cool stuff happening, we'd love to have you back on.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Hang on. Stay backstage. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, y'all. How cool of a show tonight. Dude had Bryant Goldstone, Brian Robbins on, had these young adults here on from Nightmare Garage just talking about all the cool stuff. But I'm telling you, episode 120, this is episode 119. Episode 120 is going to be even crazier. I've penciled in 90 minutes for 850 class hitters, just absolute monsters in the 850 class. Everybody that's been on has been an 850 something or an 8500 like Dustin and Steve Trance and Brian Acton. In Dragon Drive competition, Mark Campbell's been very close. The first 2 days he won and done 8502, 8503 at Drag Week 2023. So going to be nuts. Y'all know that is my jam. I love that class. I feel like that class is like just the beast of a street car. Anytime you can go consistently 850s, it's pretty impressive. So they're going to be on next week. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to do all that with those guys. Again, I've put out 90 minutes. So that's kind of our plan there, is to do that. So thank you guys so much for being our race car friends. Thank you for being here. I can't say it enough. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for all the stuff. Azim Sheik over here saying great show. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for watching tonight. All that kind of cool stuff. And we appreciate you guys. And one last time, thank you to our sponsors. We really can't do this without them. So if you're shopping, please hit these guys up. Summit Racing, Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classified. Screenshot this right here and just go shop those guys, see what you can get over there. Y'all appreciate it. See you soon.